Hi guys, welcome. How are you doing today? So we are going to continue on the application load balancer practical, wherein I will create, let's say, two servers. This I will say, let's say, server one. This I will say it as a server two, and I'm going to host an application. Okay, let's say here in the root location, I will be putting an application. Let's say, hello world, or this is welcome to training. And here we will use a path-based routing. Okay, path-based routing wherein in AWS folder, okay, in the root location, there's a AWS folder. Welcome to AWS training, like that. Okay. So we will create two servers in the root location. Let's say we will use Apache. Apache is a web server. We will use Apache web server. Now, what is a web server? To host any website, okay, on these servers, we install a web server like Apache. Or if you are hosting a Java based application, then Tomcat. For now, I will be using Apache. Then this is a root location where www.html, whatever I'm going to put inside this location, at this location inside this machine, because after I install Apache, this is a location, and whatever I'm going to put inside this location, okay, I'm going to write vi index file, okay, or I can simply create a file with the echo command also, which will create a file. Let's say this is welcome to training index.html. I will create a file named index.html in this location. But since I'm using a path based routing, which means there is another server and there is a page, AWS page. Now I want my load balancer to ensure that whenever the request, I have explained to you yesterday, right? Path based routing. Whenever the request comes up for a specific page, it will send it to that specific page only. So we will say Apache web server. Here we will create an AWS folder, and here we will say welcome to AWS and index file. So inside this AWS folder, inside the AWS folder, we are going to create an index file, and inside the root location, which is this location, we are going to create index file. Now we will set up a load balancer wherein the request will be coming up. Okay. Request will be going here and here. But we'll set up path-based routing. Path-based routing means or I can create one more, let's say third server also, which is Azure. Okay. Now, same thing, I will install Apache web server. This is where www html Azure. I will write echo welcome to Azure index.html. So, okay, now this will also happen. Now, how will it happen? If someone opens, let's say, okay, someone opens the load balancer endpoint directly, or someone opens a root location. When someone opens the root location, the request will be coming up here. Someone opens root location slash AWS. Okay. It would be via using endpoint. Okay. So the request will be coming up here and it will go to this. Or if someone opens root location slash Azure. So the request will be coming up here and request will be going to this Azure. You're understanding my point, right? What is exactly happening up here? So if someone, sorry, this is what will happen. This is the path-based routing, which means I'm going to provide the path and it will take me to the proper server. When you have lot of server, this is the best method which you can use, and there you can go for the application load balancer. Hope you are getting it, guys. Please give me a quick confirmation. We will do it practically now. I don't have the specific notes for this specific lab. I prepared, I have done it for, I'm doing it for this class only. So generally I don't do this specific lab. Give me just 1 minute. We will be starting with the, we will be starting, we have started with the application load balancer practical. This is what we are doing. We will be checking out the path-based routing, which I have explained it yesterday. So will use the 3 servers and then we are going to work on it. Okay, so what we are going to do first is we will create 2 security groups. We will create 2 security groups. One for application load balancer and one for machines. Okay. 2 load balancers we are going to create. Let's go ahead to the AWS account. Now here, if you check, we have the security group. Go to the security group. Go to the security group, create a new security group here. will write application load balancer or allowing all the traffic coming to the application load balancer. Then we will redirect it. Just add a rule, all traffic coming from all sources. Okay. And then simply create a new security group. Okay. I will create one more security group. Go to the security group. Like the security group is created. Let's create one more security group. Security group. Now, I will say one more security group. This is web server security group. Okay, you will give it the name. It's a web server security group. Some name you can give it here. Now here, what we are going to do is in this rules, I will add a rule and I will say HTTP and source would be the traffic coming from this application load balancer. Like we don't want to connect or we don't want this machine or this machine should be connected from anywhere from the internet. We want that any traffic coming from the application load balancer, okay, whatever traffic is coming, the request will be coming to application load balancer will be coming up here. So only application load balancer should be able to connect to my machine. I want only application load balancer to connect to the machine. Normally, to machine. Normally, if I put 0.0, anyone should be able to connect from the public IP. But I don't want that. I want only my this load balancer to be connect to my machine. And guys, here in this case, no. What is the benefit is you actually like the security path is already taken care of actually. The security method is already being taken care of. So that's one of the very, very good thing. Only only we need to take care of one important part here is like all the traffic reaching out from the application load balancer will be taking or will be going to this particular here. No other way you will be able to talk to this machine via other than the application load balancer. All the requests coming to this machine will be coming from the application load balancer. Only application load balancer would be allowed to talk to this machine. You are able to get it, please confirm yes or no. You are able to understand it, yes or no. Okay. Now scroll down. Okay, Ernest and Roshan have not understood, right? See, what I'm doing is I have a machine, right? I could have made it simpler, but in the companies you use this method only. That's why I'm showing it to you in this method. So what has happened is you understand the security group, right? How the security group works. So if the okay, if anything is reaching out from the internet, from HTTP, you enable what you do. You say that okay, I will allow HTTP rule. We will allow HTTP rule, and we will see traffic coming from anywhere. This means anywhere. Anywhere means if my IP is 172.10.20.10, I will be able to talk to this machine. When my IP is something else, I will be able to talk to the machine from port 80. If my IP is something else, let's say 173.10.20.10, my I will be able to talk to the machine. If my IP is 173.20.10.10, I will be able to talk to the machine. Any IP I'm right now. If I use 0.0.0/0, it means any anywhere, anywhere across the world. If I want to talk to the machine, I will be able to talk to the machine, whatever the private public IP of this machine is. But this is my IPs. Any IP I have, I will be able to talk to the machine. This you can understand, yes or no? This is what we do most of the times, right? This is what we are doing most of the times. Now, what I'm saying here is we have an application load balancer. Okay. Just you tell me one thing. Application load balancer, we are just putting to balance the load. Am I right? We expect that all the traffic coming to the machine will be coming from application load balancer only. Yes, that's the purpose of application load balancer. It will balance the load. It will balance the load. And we know all the traffic, all the traffic coming to machine should come, coming to machine, load balancer. Yes or no? Now, okay. Now, if I'm putting a machine here, let's say what I was saying is we have three machines, suppose. So I'm running let's say let's suppose I have launched a website like Adureka. Okay. Now, in the root location, I'm saying welcome to the training. So in the root, this means root. So in the root location, I have launched welcome to the training. This I have explained it in the morning only. So welcome to training. This you have understood, right? Like how we are defining the path-based URL. So in root, I am creating AWS folder. There I am creating welcome to AWS training. Then under Azure, we say welcome to Azure training. Right. So now what I want is I don't want this machine. Welcome to training should open from public IP. See, I can configure it. I could have directly, rather than putting it in this way, okay, rather than putting it in this way, I could have directly done it also now. I could have put 0.0.0 and none of you would have asked me that question. I know it very well. But in your companies, you will never be using 0.0, but because your company will say that why you have even made a access from the internet or from a public IP. Why do we need that? Wouldn't it be disturbing my whole setup? That's a question your manager will ask you as soon as your manager get it up. So we are going to say all the traffic reaching out to the application load balancer should only be, my application should load balancer should only be able to access the website running on it on port 80. The firewall should only allow the traffic reaching out from the application load balancer via port 80. No other. If you try to open it from any other IP other than application load balancer, then you will not be able to open it. So what we will do we will create this machine and we will say that the security group of this machine. Okay, I will say that security group of the machine will only allow the traffic. The security group of load balancer will talk to it. The only traffic coming from this security group, which is there across the load balancer, will be able to talk to the machine here. So that is what we are doing. When we I created a security group and I say that traffic coming from application load balancer, ALB load balancer, security group will be allowed. That is what I'm doing. That is what we are doing here. Similarly, here also the same thing. So that now there is no unauthorized access. Anyone from the internet, let's say Ernest or Roshan wants to access this website from the internet, Ernest and Ronak will not be able to access from the public IP. I will show you if you want. I can change the public IP and I can change the security and I will show you. It will not impact this whole setup. If you put 0.0.0/0 also here in the security group, it will not impact. Okay, this complete setup. No, we will have only two security group. No, these three can share the same security group. Okay. Now it is clear, everyone. When you will do it practically, you will understand it better. Such a depth lab I'm also doing in the classes for the first time because I generally show it in a different way. My labs are generally this. Little easy. Okay. So I'm also showing you in a very depth manner now. I will upload this notes also. These are very simple notes. But this time I'm showing you in the real time scenario. Create a security group. The security group is created up. Now, instances. We are going to create. Now we will create 3 instances. We will now create 3 machines. In first machine, we will host hello, welcome to training in root location. In second machine, we will host hello, welcome to AWS in root/AWS location. In third machine, we will host hello, welcome to Azure in root/Azure location. We will have 3 machines, all 3 of them in a different pattern. So we will Okay, yesterday actually I was practicing your labs, so I'll just delete them. Here I need to create all three of them one by one. So let's create the first machine. Okay. So we'll create the first machine, launch a machine. Let's say my root machine. Root machine where my root web is running on. Okay, I will just give it a name. Root machine. Scroll down. You will select Amazon Linux only. Let's select Amazon Linux. You can use anything, but for now, I'm using Amazon Linux. T2 micro is fine. In the key pair, you can select any key pair. Okay. You can select any key pair here of your choice. I will select the existing security group, which is just a minute. I need to check which one I have created just now. Web server security group. So here I will select the existing security group, and web server security group is something I will select. So web server security group, it's a security group we created just before. We created above. Select the existing security group. Now, since I will not be able to connect to the machine, I will host or I will deploy the application directly on this machine. So I will go to this advanced settings, advanced details. There you will have some data inputs wherein, okay, I will go to this advanced settings and here I have some data inputs which is there. And I will put this here. When I click on this advanced details, I can put this user data here itself. Like in user data, we will put the commands or we will put the list of commands which we need to when this machine will execute. No, these commands will be executed. So in this user data, no, what happens is whatever data or whatever we will put in the user data. Okay, these commands will be executed. Commands will be executed when machine is executing, machine is starting. I hope you are understanding. Please say yes or no. So I will say here slash bin. This will define that it's a bash terminal. Okay. It's a bash terminal. It's a very simple task. See, I'm not able to connect. I will not be able to launch. Like I will not be able to connect to the machine because I have not given the security group. Either I enable all traffic and enable SSH and then I will be able to connect. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is this. I can use this method. Uh, the third method is if you're using DevOps, you can create an end-to-end automation and automatically your application will be deployed here. But for now, I'm just doing it from the user data. I will write yum install httpd -y service httpd start. Cloud Shell, no, you will not be able to connect via Cloud Shell because Cloud Shell also use SSH, no, Nitish? That also will require access keys, secret keys. So it connects it via SSH. Service HTTPD start, yum install HTTPD. Then we will create a directory. If not created, it will automatically create, but let's not take any risk. I will echo welcome to training. Welcome to training page 1. This is my root page, root location. What this command will do, it will create a file with name index.html. Okay. With the content, welcome to training page 1. I will write what these commands are doing. Okay. Or this command will do, it will install. Sorry. Very important thing I forgot. Okay. I will write install Apache web server because we want to install a website. To make a server or make a server as a web server, we need to install. Okay, we need to install this Apache. Now we will start the Apache. We will start Apache web server. I will make a directory, mkdir make a directory, like a folder. Okay, make a directory. Echo is like what it will do, it will create a file. It will create a file named index.html with content welcome to training at where www.html location. This is what it will do. What about Apache 2? Apache 2 is being used in Ubuntu. Okay. Apache 2 is basically it's the same thing only. As of now, I'm using this Linux, right? Amazon Linux. So that's why I'm using Yum. I want to give you that flavor also of Linux. So that's why we are using Yum here. Getting it? Please confirm. Now, HTTPD and Apache 2 is same. After this is done, we are going to launch first instance. We are going to launch the instance. Similarly, we are going to launch another instance also. Similarly, let's launch one more machine. We will launch one more machine here. So I will go back to EC2 instances. This is my root machine which is created up. I will click on one more machine. Let's say I will write AWS machine. Okay. Which is basically AWS. I'm going to post it inside it. I'm going to scroll down. T2 is fine. Here I will select the security group and I will be selecting the web server security group. Okay, I will select it and I will select the security. And simply again go to the advanced details. Okay, go to click on advanced detail. Here I will put the same kind of a code, but I will make some small required changes. Okay, so this is the code. Okay, so here I will say I will create a new AWS. So I'm a path-based routing. So the traffic which should be coming to HTML should go to that machine. The traffic which is coming to AWS should come to this machine. The traffic which is coming on Azure from the load balancer should go to the Azure machine. So welcome to the training page. Welcome to AWS training, page 2. And there I will write AWS and index file. That will be the difference. Okay. So I'll make that required changes. Please do not do it parallelly with me. I request you. And that's the reason I'm making the notes for you. Okay. So I will be launching an instance. So I'll just put it in this way in the user data again. And I will launch the instance. We will launch the instance. Now we will create one more instance. Okay. We will create one more machine, which would be Azure machine. Okay. Okay. Sorry, which would be EC2 machine hosting or EC2 machine with a different path. Okay. How does a public IP work? Do we need public IP or EIP here? You don't need any public IP. Okay. You don't need any public IP. Okay. It would be accessible from ALB only, as I've already explained it, Ravi, today, that this load balancer, I will not be able to access this machine from any public IP. It will only be accessible from the application load balancer. We have configured the security in that way only. We have configured the security in that specific way itself. Now we will create one more machine. So the third machine we are going to create it. We go to this machine again. We have two machines, AWS machine. Okay, root machine. We will create Azure machine also, where we are hosting the Azure application. Azure machine. Easy to only Amazon Linux only I'm going to use. Scroll down. T2 micro. Keep here. I will use the same or different. It's your choice. Scroll down. Select the security group. I will use the same security group which we have selected previously. Till here, every process remains the same. Okay. Scroll down. In advanced settings, advanced details. We're going to the advanced details here. Come at the bottom. And here we will be putting up this user data again. but there would be little slight change in that user data. So I will be making a small change in that user data itself. We'll say Azure training page 3. Here I will say Azure. Okay. So that's the only difference which will be coming up. Okay, and launch the instance. This is what we have in here. We will launch the instance. Okay, so simply I will be launching the instance, and when this machine would be launched, this app web server would be installed and the website would be there. But we will not be able to access it because of the settings which we have set, that this machine is only accessible from the application load balancer. Otherwise, the security group will stop us to access these machines. Now we will configure the now we will configure the load balancer. Okay. Please check it out once. I'm sharing it. Till here, if you have any doubts, please ask me. I will take a 2-minute pause. Just read it out and tell me if you have any doubt. Yes, yes. No, multiple OS means you can have multiple. You can have Ubuntu, Linux, but all of them should be in the same region. Okay. Could be in different availability zone, but should be in the same region. So, okay. So you cannot have one machine in Azure. It's not possible. Yes, you can have different machines. It actually will not affect anything because operating system is not a concern for us here. Shyam. Now, we will go ahead now. Okay. Now we will create a load balancer. We are going to create a load balancer now, wherein we will define, we will now create the load balancer. We'll now create the load balancer. Okay, before that, before that, first we should create the target group, like which machines to be targeted, okay, which machines to be targeted by the load balancer, by the load balancer. So we have, if you scroll down, you will see load balancer. Here we can create a load balancer. So we can create the load balancer, or let's create a load balancer only. Or first here, let's better it's to create the target group first, because we have to create three target groups. Here, it in the target group, we will define in the target group, we will define which target or which machines should be targeted by the load balancer. Which machines should be targeted by the load balancer is being defined in the uh, okay. We can is being defined in the target group. Like what is my target is being defined in the target group. What exactly is my target? What I need to target will be defined here. So I will say that, okay, I will be creating a target group. Okay. I will create a target group here. Create a TG group. Fine. Create a target group. I want to target two instances. Okay, you can have an advanced routings as well where you want to target IP, Lambda, or application load balancer. You can do that. But for now, my task is to select the instance. So I will choose the target type as instance. Target name. Okay, so target type would be instances. So here I will say my root target or root machine TG target. Okay. Here I will say it will work on the port 8080. So I will just give it a name. Okay, I will just give it a name. And then I will scroll down. No changes to be done. I need to do a health check. So what exactly we are doing here is we are defining that how it is going to connect or how it will talk to that machine. This like how my load balancer will be ultimately talking to the machine on port 80, because this application is working on port 80 and we are using a path-based routing. So we will just keep it as default only. That's a default setting. If you are using the network load balancer, you can use TCP. That will be the only difference coming up. If you're using a network load balancer, you should be going and using the a network load balancer TCP here. If you are using any other, let's say if you are using this gateway load balancer, you should be using a third party. Like you can use any third party tool. But for now, I will be using the HTTP, which is defined for the application load balancer as it works on the layer. Which layer it works on? Application load balancer works on which layer of the OSI model? It works on the layer 7, right? Remember these numbers. We keep it as default only. No changes. Now health checks. I told you yesterday very clearly. I told this to you very clearly yesterday that the load balancer, okay, the application load balancer will do the health checks on the machine. Okay. The application load balancer will do the health checks on the machine, which means, okay, which means that it will keep checking the application load or any other load balancer also. It will keep checking the health of the machine. Okay. Now, but how it checks? There should be some protocol, like it should check via this method. So it will be checking the root location. If it is getting a response from the root location, this means root. And here it use HTTP protocol, which is port 80. That's the only protocol access we have given. We have not even given any other access. So from here to here, we just have given HTTP access. So that is what is happening up here. We are just giving and telling that we will be using HTTP protocol. You cannot hear me, guys. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Now, I will just be keeping it as default only. Let's not put the screenshot. Click on the next. Now here, I will select the root machine. I will be selecting the root machine here and I will include as a pending below. Select the root machine. This is my root machine and include as pending below. We need to include as pending below, which means that, okay, why we are including? Can anyone tell me why we are including and what is the meaning of this include as pending below? What do you think is the meaning of include as pending below here? What is the meaning of this? See, okay. First of all, the load balancer will do a health check of the machine. And if, okay, health check of the machine. And, okay, and that's the reason the machine will be added as we added as pending. After we create the load balancer, create load balancer, it will first check. It will check if health is proper. If yes, it will make the load balancer as available. Is available. Sorry, make the machine as available, which means it will start distributing the traffic onto that machine. Make the machine as available. You're understanding, yes or no? First, it will check it like it's a pending one because it does not know whether this machine is proper or not. It could be unhealthy also. So after load balancer we are going to create, it will actually tell me that this machine is healthy. I can start sending the traffic to this specific machine. So that's the reason why we have to include the pending below. Like we will add it as a pending one. Let's do it. And this is in the real time also, guys, exactly the same thing which I do. It might look little difficult to you right now, but when you practice it, I'm making such a detailed note, you will not face any issues. Okay. Click on include as pending below. It would be included. Click on the create a target group. Okay. Now we will create another target group. We will go to another target group. I will create another target group. So I will go to target group again. Create one more target group. Same thing. AWS target group. Okay. Let's say this is a product page or any other page. It's fine. So just keep it like this. Okay. I will be creating a target group. So we'll create a target group. No other changes. Oh, here one important change we need to do. The health would be done on this, on the location. We have created, okay, we have created that AWS directory, this directory. Okay, so in the machine, we created AWS directory where we deployed, where we hosted the page, where we hosted the page. So path should be slash, okay, path or page or path or the directory. Okay, path based routing. Okay, so directory where routing need to be done. Routing need to be done and again slash. Like in this way, you have to write it up. So this you need to take care of. HTTPS actually we need, you can manage HTTPS. It's the same thing only. It's the same thing. You can just select HTTPS. But for HTTPS, we need to buy around like around $100 certificate manager. Okay, so that is something which is there. And it is exactly the same. Your company will configure it for you. It does not, you don't even have to configure it. Just you have to replace HTTP with HTTPS everywhere. Nothing, no other changes. Okay, that will be the only difference. No other changes. Click on the next. Let me check if I can arrange some account which has the this certificate manager. Okay, click on the next button. AWS. We'll select the AWS here and include as pending below. So this is the machine. I'm going to add it up because I'm now adding this machine. You're understanding, right? Please confirm yes or no. You're able to get it, right? Because if you remember, I have hosted when I was hosting AWS machine. This was normal. Yes. When I was hosting AWS machine, I was saying that I need to host it on AWS. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm telling that all that obviously it's being hosted on AWS or slash AWS folder. So that's why I need to mention it here slash AWS slash AWS. Okay. I hope you are able to understand. Yes or no? Please give me a quick confirmation. Everyone is able to hear me properly, loud and clear, right? Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I will just confirm. Now, when I scroll down, okay, I have included as pending below and I will create a target group. We have not included as pending. Okay, why it is not showing me? Okay, so deselected and then I have already added it up. See here, and I will create a target group. Similarly, I will be creating it for, okay, I will be now creating third one also. Now we will create third target group. Now we will create third target group. Okay, now we will create the third target group, and which is yes. Do not get confused with Azure. It's not Azure. It's like a just think that Akshat is launching a new company like Adureka. Okay. And Akshat is saying that when you open akshat.com, let's say, so homepage should open, but when you open akshat.com/AWS, my age AWS, what we say, this AWS course will be there. When you open /Azure, my Azure course would be there. So like that. Okay, it means like that. Okay. Yes. So do not think that I'm going to Azure and I'm creating a machine in Azure. Okay. Now, because I took exactly that example only, like I'm launching a company and then we have root, AWS and Azure. Now here, we will be going to the target group. So we have already created 2 target group. I will create another target group, instances and Azure target group. Target group. Okay, so I will just give some name here. Okay, no other changes. Here you will just say Azure /. So this you have to remember. This is important. So you have to just give the name like this. You have to give the name like this. Okay. You have to give the name like this here. So I will just give it a here. We will have a break now because otherwise it will be very late. In health check, we will put /Azure/ so that you don't miss it out if you miss any screenshot. Okay. Click on the next. Click on the next button. Then if you click on the next button, you will select the Azure machine and include as pending below. Okay, include as pending below. So select the Azure machine and include as pending below. Why we are creating? Yes, we need to create 3 to 4 target group, and then I will show you why we are creating it. We will now configure the load balancer in that way. We have to create a target group as per the functionalities in my application. Okay. We are just creating a target group. We are telling in what now when we create a load balancer, we will define the condition that when this condition would be there, then your request will be going to this specific kind of a target group. If this condition is being meeting, then we should be going to this specific kind of target group. This is what we are saying up there. We are going to say. Okay. And I will include it as a pending below. Got it, Gopal? Now click on create target group. Now we will create a load balancer. We will tell that if this condition meets, if someone opens /AWS, then our request will be coming to this target group. If someone opens /AWS, our request will be coming to this target group. This is what we will define. Okay, here. We have already done 17 pages. I think 4 or 5 pages will all required. So I will create a target group here. There's something selected. Yeah. We have already added it up here. Create a target group. Okay, done. Okay, done now. Cool. Now we have created 3 target groups. Now, after this, okay, we will be creating a load balancer. We create a load balancer and we will define the load. Okay. And I will show you how to define the load and we will then define the rules. So this is what we are going to do. So let's have a quick break. Let's meet in next 13 minutes and then we'll continue. Okay. Meanwhile, you can just have a look at it and tell me if you have any doubts. Welcome back. Guys, welcome back. Please confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. Yes. So we can continue now. Okay. So till now, I'll just do a quick recap. So what I want to do is I want to create a path, like I want to show you a path-based routing. Okay. Wherein we will be we need a path-based routing here, wherein a traffic is coming. And let's say if I want to redirect it to AWS page, it should go to this page. If I want to redirect it to Azure page, it should go there. And when I want to open the root location, it should come up in the root location itself. So assume that I'm starting my company and like add Eureka. So if someone visits my application, it should like homepage should say welcome to the training. If the person goes for Azure page, should say that okay, this is welcome to AWS training. When someone opens Azure, it should take say welcome to Azure training. Okay, then we will create we have created two security groups. One security group we have created for the application load balancer with the name application load balancer. Second one we created for the web server for the machines. And here we have done a small thing, which we do it in our company, saying that only the load balancer, only the traffic coming from load balancer will be able to access the machines. Otherwise, the machines will not be accessible. I could have used 0.0.0 also here, okay, rather than the security group. Now here I will select the first machine where I will host the security, where I will host the website. So yes, this is a code I have put it up. When this machine will be created up, this code will be executed. Similarly for second machine also in AWS directory, we are creating index file wherein what will happen is this application is running inside the AWS directory, which is like a folder. Similarly for Azure as well. Now we have created three target groups. One target group says that the target group is it defines the target where your traffic would be coming to. Okay. So I've created three target group. One target group is for root location. Another target group is for AWS location. And the third target group is for Azure location itself. Now, after this is done, we will create a load balancer. Okay. We will now create a load balancer. So to create a load balancer, I'm going to go to the load balancer here. And I'm going to create a load balancer. I'm going to simply create in the most easiest way, I will be going to create a simple load balancer. Okay, create a load balancer. Now we have three types of load balancers, and the classic one is gone. It's a previous generation. If you even see classic load balancer, discontinue date. If you see, it was discontinued on 15th August 2022. I have told you yesterday also. So we will be for now using the application load balancer. Okay, so we will create the application, select application load balancer here. Okay, we will select the application load balancer. Here we can give the load balancer name. Let's say production path based URL load balancer, or it's a production load balancer. Simple. It's just some name I'm giving it up. It should be, there are two types of load balancer which you will see. One is internet facing and one is internal facing. Internet facing is, let's say if your website need to be hosted over the internet. If the website on which, or the machines on which the traffic machine on which load balancer would be distributing the traffic is the traffic is okay. If the machine on which the load balancer would be distributing the traffic is hosted or has a public IP, which means it is a we are hosting a as a public IP, i.e. website would be hosted. Then we will be going for internet facing load balancer. Internal load balancer. If the machine on which load balancer would be distributing the traffic has a private IP or is not hosted or it's not hosting anything over the internet. It is hosting internally. Let's say if you're launching some timesheet in your office, the timesheet in your office is only accessible when you're in the office only. So that's internal. Like there is no public IP associated with your machine, or there is no public IP which need to be associated with the load balancer. Internal. Let's say, okay, so to host, we use internal if, okay, if we use private IPs. If we use private IP and, okay, and EC2, or we don't have to host anything over the internet. Over a private network, we will be able to access it, but not over the internet. So for now, I will just use this scheme. Scroll down. Now we have this load balancer type. So we have three addresses type here. One is IPv4, second one is dual stack without IPv4. Now, dual stack includes IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 and IPv6 addresses. We are using IPv4 only, so we will use it. Dual stack without the public IP, it means only IPv6. Okay, and it also says and the private IPs, private IPv4, but no public IPv4. But for now, we are actually for next 5-6 years, you really do not have to worry about it. Everyone is going for the IPv4 only because it's easy, really easy to manage. So we will be using this IPv4. Scroll down. Network mapping. Now, again, in which network your load balancer or in which network your load balancer would be created up. So we saw that we have a load balancer, which is being balancing the load between the machines. Machines could be in different availability zones, but in the same region. Okay, but they should be in the same region. All of them should be in the same region. They should be in the same region. And they should be in a network also. Networking concept is the next thing which we are going to learn. So network, they should be in the same network also, which is VPC. So here we are defining in which network this load balancer would be created up. So we are using a default network from beginning only. This is a default network. Okay, default network. Till now, whatever we have done will be on default network. From tomorrow, we will see what is a custom network also. The network which we define, that is a custom network. Okay. But here we are defining a particular network, default network. Okay. And here I will select that, sorry, here I will be selecting the availability zones on which this load balancer can balance the load between. So you need to generally you will select all of them because when you enable auto scaling, the machine can be created in other availability zone also. And if you're not selecting any specific availability zone, then your load will not be balanced in that availability zone. So this is something you need to really take care of. For now, I will select all of them. You can select it up. It's not coming in a single page, but I hope you understood it. Right. So we will be selecting all the security group. In the security group, I will select my application load balancer security group, not this one. No, I've created with the name application load balancer. Yeah. This was the security group. Okay. So this was a security group we created in the first day. This was the security group we created in first step. You can check the documentation. In the first step, we have created a security group with the name application load balancer. We will select that particular security group. Now scroll down. Now it will listen, like what it is telling is when the traffic will come on the load balancer, the listeners, yesterday I've explained you, right? There is a listeners which is there, which will listen to the traffic and where it will forward that traffic to a particular target group, which has a machine, right? Which has a machine. So listeners will listen to the traffic. Yesterday I've explained you this part. Yes, we have two security group, Ernest. So Ernest is asking, so there is two security group for load balancer. There is a security group for a load balancer and a security group for a machine. Yes. So web, we have created two security group, application security group for the application load balancer, wherein we have enabled all the traffic. And the second is web server security group, where we have selected, we have said that the traffic coming from the application load balancer will only be accepted. When you do the practicals for 1 or 2 times, you will understand. It's a really long lab, you can see. That's where the confusion might be there. When you practice it, you will understand. Okay. It means that the traffic, it will listen to the traffic. It will listen to the traffic coming from port 80 and redirect it to target group and redirect it to target group. And which target group? I will select the root target group. This root machine target group. This machine. The root target group. So which is a root target. Then inside it, we will provide the path. Okay. So let's do it. Now scroll down. No other things I need to take care of, and I can just simply create a load balance. Okay. So the load balancer is created now. Let it launch. It is provisioning right now. Let the load balancer launch. Wait. So you will see it will now first check the health of the machine. So if you go and check this root machine target group, no, you will see it is, I will just refresh it once. It will first initialize the health status, health check. See, it will initialize the health status. And then it will tell you whether this is healthy or unhealthy. The only issue which can come up here is from, guys, the only issue which is really possible in this case is the security group. If error comes up, it shows unhealthy, which means that there's an issue with the security group. We have to take care of it. Now we will refresh it again. It will take some 2-3 minutes. It is taking some time. This is active. Let's see the target group. Let's hope it is correctly done. This is the most scariest moment. Yeah, it is healthy. Oh, good. Now you have to check. Just go to the target group, click on your target group and check if your health is okay. So you can check if the target is healthy. Okay, go to target group, click on the target, and we will see, refresh it, keep refreshing it, and you will see it is healthy right now. Okay. In this way, you can check it out whether your target is healthy or not. In my case, my target is healthy. Okay. Now, if you go to the load balancer, you have this load balancer, you can copy. Let's copy this and let's understand what is an output coming up. We're getting some service error. I think it is because of, okay, we are getting this service error because I think it will take some time to get it load. Okay, let's see. What's an issue here? First, let me configure this load balancer, then we will check it out. But there should not be any issue actually. So click on the load balancer. Okay. So you will click on the load balancer. Then you will scroll down. You will scroll down and you will find the listeners and the rules. You will be going to the listeners and the rules, and there you will select it. You will be selecting this. Okay. So you will be scrolling down. You will go to listeners and the rules, and you will scroll down. Now here, you will click on this manage rules and we will be adding up a new rule here. Click on the manage rule and we will be adding up a new rule here. Now I will say AWS rule. Like when I want to redirect the traffic to AWS, I can give any rule name here. So I can just define the rule name. We will say that we have a condition. We will be adding up a condition. So we will add condition. We will be adding up a condition here. Add a condition which says we want to do a path-based routing. So when you do a condition, you will say Yeah. Path-based routing, you're going to select it here. Okay. Let's do it. We will select the path-based routing. Yes, it is telling me that we are adding up a rule, like when it listens to anything, okay, like I want to open this AWS page. When it listens to anything like this, it should take me to which path. It should take me to which particular target group. So I can confirm it here. So when I click on the next button, so in this, I will click on the next, where it should be pointing me to. I can click on the next button here, and it says that if you want to redirect it to some URL, you can do that. If you want to return some fixed response, let's say whenever this path will come up, I should return hello world. So that can also be done. Okay. Or I can forward to the target group. Which target group I've created? AWS target group, right? I can, like, when someone opens this AWS, I should forward it to the AWS target group and click on the next. I can click on the next button. Okay, here you can define the priority. Like if there are 100 of rules which is there. Okay, 100 of rules which is there. Just a minute. Just a minute. I'm sorry. Why this is not working is because I have actually created this yesterday when I was practicing in night before this class. No, I I created this, but I deleted the instances. That's the reason why the error was coming up here. So actually, you're getting my point, right? I should use this one. I have created this prod LB learned, right? Not the other one. That too is not working. Yeah, it's working. See, if I share it with you, you can also see. See, you got it, right? What is the problem happened here? Why it was not working initially at this point? Because, okay, why it was not working here? Because I was using a wrong load balancer by mistake yesterday. Before every class, I practice everything. Okay, then only I take a class. So I yesterday in the night I created it, but it was really late night, so I forgot to remove all of them, and I slept. So yes, you can see it was late actually. So then what I did, like today by mistake, I was copying the same one only, and I was showing you the same one, and the error was coming up. But now if you see, there is no error which is there. You got it right. What was an issue? So process will remain the same here also. I will manage the rule, add a rule. I will say AWS rule. Click on the next button, add a condition, path-based URL / AWS, confirm. Next, target group would be AWS target group. Next, okay, priority would be, let's say, 10 or 100. Now, what does this priority mean? What is this 100 priority mean? Let's say I have 100 rules, which is there. Now, the rules which has more priority, let's say the rule which has 2 priority will be given more priority than other person, or other rule which has less priority. So when, let's say, I have a priority, my load balancers, let's say, is having a limited bandwidth right now, and it need to choose out of these two traffics coming up, which particular traffic should receive an error and which should actually open. So I can, this priority will work there. Okay. So I can just select the priority, click on the next, and create it. You are able to understand, right? You are able to understand. Please give me a quick confirmation. Is it getting difficult, or you are able to get it? Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please confirm. Yeah, configuration is working. No, our configuration is working. See, our configuration is working properly. Okay, I'm configuring it and it will work. I will show you. Okay, it's work. AWS is there. I've created an AWS rule. This is opening page 1 / AWS. Just a minute. Should we see page 2? So when we were opening this, it was opening page 1. Just write in the same link, just put /AWS /. Just put /AWS /AWS /. See page 2. Similarly, Azure also I will launch. I will go to the load balancer. Okay. Go to the load balancer and I will select it again. Manage rule and add a rule. I will again go to the load balancer. Let's get a rule for Azure page as well. Go to load balancer. Click on load balancer. Okay, scroll down. Select HTTP, add a rule. Add a rule. Let's say Azure load balancer rule or Azure rule, Azure page rule. Any name you can give it here. So I can give it a name here. Any name can be given up here and next. Next. Now here, okay, add a condition and we will do a path-based URL. And I will write Azure /. That's it. I'm using a path-based URL and I will just define the path. This is the path where I have configured the Azure page in machine. Okay, and I will confirm it. Very simple. Click on the confirm. Click on next. Now I will give it a priority. Let's say I will give it a 99 as a priority. But before that, I will select the target group. We can have multiple target groups as well. So I will select the Azure target group this time. Azure target group, we are going to select it this time. This is a real-time lab. Okay, that's the reason it's little bigger. It's already 20-25 pages. Now, next, I will give it like 99 priority. Next. Any priority, 101 also you can give. It's up to 50,000. Okay. Next. And create. Next and create. So if you see here, okay, if you see this, if you do not put it, yeah, you will see there is this welcome to, okay, training page. Go to load balancer. Go to load balancer and copy the DNS. Open it in the new tab. Ensure that you are using HTTP. Okay. Ensure this HTTP need to be there. This need to be HTTP, not HTTPS. It need to be HTTP. This could also be an error. Okay. It need to be HTTP. Okay. This need to be HTTP only. This is my AWS. Is my Azure working? Can you check it out, guys, once and tell me? Is my Azure is working? Is my Azure is working? Check it out. You check it out and tell me. Is my Azure working? Yes or no? Is it working? Just need to replace AWS with Azure. See, welcome to Azure training page 3. Our lab is successfully done and performed here. Okay. Our lab was successfully done and was being performed here. AWS. Okay. Similarly, endpoint. Fed. Okay. Okay. A load balancer endpoint. Okay. Endpoint. I have made the notes also for you. Today it's a little difficult class, but I hope you enjoyed it because this is what you do it in the real time also. Okay. Ernest, where you are confused here, tell me. Like 5 minutes before you said that you are able to get it. Where you got confused, can you please tell me? I will guide you. Where you got confused, please tell me. We have this load balancer. You have understood, right, that we have configured the path. Ernest, you understood, right? We have configured the path here. This is the load balancer. Okay. The URL you are testing is not the URL of the load balancer we configured. No, this is the URL of the load balancer we configured actually. Production LB learned. I will show you the this thing. I will show you this thing. Just a minute. Where is the load listeners? Okay, see. Root machine TG. You can see production root machine target group. And this target group has this machine. Root machine. If you see, this is the root machine which we created up. This is the root machine. Okay. This is the root machine which we created, right? Today only we created this root machine. If you see, today only we created it. Even I will show you this load balancer. Okay, this load balancer, no, there would be somewhere time. Yeah, see, 9th October. Right. This is a load balancer, right? Yes, Ernest, yes or no? This was an old one. This was actually not something, by mistake, I opened it earlier, but this is not one which we have configured it. See, I can delete it. I will show you again. See. Okay, this is a load balancer. Copy it. It's the same location. Welcome to training 1 / AWS page 2 / Azure. Third. Okay, page 3. Okay, so all the 3 pages are opening up. Here, this load balancer was created today. It 8 something 9. Today is 9th, right? It's morning, early morning at my area. So, and anything else, let's say security group also I will show you. It's the same one. Everything is same. Okay. And in the notes also, if you see, I created the load balancer with this name only. When I created the load balancer, it was created with the same name. Actually, this was already there. No, when I created the load balancer, my LB was already there. So by mistake, I initially clicked on that. But see, production LB learned. This is a load balancer which I created now. Got it? Got it now? So when you practice it, you will not face any kind of issues. Nothing to worry about. And if I show you this one, see, we have 3 listeners rule. In the production LB learned load balancer, there are 3 listener rules: default, AWS rule, and Azure page rule. All the 3 rules are being present up here. Okay, just practice it once. If you face issues, you can ask me in the next class. Please do practice this, guys. I'm sharing you these notes. Okay, please try it once and do let me know. I think one of you or 2 of you have done it, right? Will there be any cost for secure SG and ALB? ALB, it will cost you. For SG, it is not there. Okay, Gopal. For security group, it will not be costing you. This is what we use it in the real time. I will request you to please practice it. If you look at the notes, it will be like, it would be easy for you. Okay, when you look at the nodes, it would be really easy for you. Okay, here it's the, this is wrong. Click on the load balancer. We are using this load balancer. Okay, this is the load balancer where you need to click. That was one mistake we did earlier. Yeah, because I created this load balancer only. If you see the name, prod LB learn. This was a load balancer, so I have to use the same load balancer only. And it was healthy, everything was fine. We copied it, we run it, we opened it. Okay, it was working absolutely fine here. You see this thing, this was working. The notes are being created in a proper way for you. Just refer to these notes and that is absolutely fine. Okay, so listeners, everything will work. Path, action, add a rule, Azure page rule, and then finally, if you open it, it will work in the same pattern. Okay. Okay. Now that would be all. Please check it out. You will not face any kind of issues. Just reach out to me in case you are facing an issue. You can reach out to me on my mail ID. I will be responding you by night. Okay, because whole day I used to be in the office, and in office I don't get that much of bandwidth, right? I just get only lunch time. So, okay, how many free tier account? Only one account can be created up as a free tier. Okay. Now, after this is done, you should be deleting everything. So you can delete all the machines, terminate all the machines which is there, and then you can go to the load balancer. I'm sorry, guys. I think I have taken some extra time. You can leave for the day, guys. Thank you. Confirm and delete it. Okay. So delete it also. Delete all the target group, everything deleted, and that would be all. Yeah. Thank you. For that 300 credit, I need same account. You will get a mail. Next month, it's being planned to share that $300 mail. So take care of it. Next month, you might get a mail saying that there's a $300 credit and you have to request it that I need $300 credit. And if it is approved, you will be getting $300 credit in your account. Okay. Thank you for your time. I hope you have enjoyed it. This is what you do it in the real time. I felt that you should understand more in the real time itself. So, yeah. No, you don't have to request. You will get a mail. It's a promotional mail which AWS sends for $300. So it's being planned next month. I'm telling you prior. It actually is being, no one knows about it. It suddenly gets on your mailbox. Only limited people get it. But I think for India, next time there are like 80,000 accounts in India right now, which are active. So you will be getting it. But you have to use at least 20 times in this month. Okay. For UK as well, but there's a limitation, like you have to use on the daily basis, something like that is there. Okay. So open, at least use your account at least once in a daily basis. That's the only request. Okay. Yes, US, UK, everywhere they send it. Okay. I just need to check for US exactly. Okay, but I will cross check it. Okay, guys. Thank you.